My final claim is that feminism has made things easier for men.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm Jenny.
Candace.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You
Yes,
said
it
that
is.
feminism is easier for men, or is
It's made things, I think, easier in society for men. Yeah. Now men don't have to commit, and they're being offered sex from women for free.
No. That just made it easier for whoremongers. It didn't make it easier for a man that actually fears God, man. That actually fears Christ. No way. It made it harder for those guys.
So they have to actually effectively do less and be motivated less, because feminism has kind of insisted on this culture of sex and hooking up. And I
Yep.
think that's has been a net negative for women.
on good faith, I just want to say, I think you're approaching this with like the best interest for women. Like, you think that is negative for women and harmful. And I think in some aspects we can agree to that.
It is.
I do think that there are some aspects of sex work or OnlyFans or whatnot that may
Man, call it what it is. I probably can't say it on here. The word start with a P. It ends with shun. Come on, man.
be men are definitely the huge consumers of. But if we are so concerned with women putting that out for free, it's charged, right? They're making money off of it. Then why are we not putting the onus more on men for being the one that is in control of that demand? Right? So we can take away the supply or, condemn it all we want. But if there's no onus on men to be the consumers of said products, then wouldn't you think that would solve the issue that you're bringing up?
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that, and I really get to that. I want to be very clear. When I say that I'm anti-feminist, this does not mean that I do not also criticize men. I think that's something
Okay.
that people get very wrong.
Okay.
1000% agree. I believe the problem was seeded by the feminist movement. I think the sex revolution and telling women, literally these people were protesting, they didn't have their shirts on, and this used to be just, your grandparents couldn't even imagine this, like women walking down the street and having their boobs out and their butts out on Instagram.
That's what they're doing. Normally, you would say that was like a third world country type of thing, but shoot.
And it created an environment where men then had to
Now they're protesting straight up naked with random words that's degrading themselves, written or painted on their chests and torsos. I'm like, what the frick? What are they doing? What is a humiliation ritual? The frick?
to work harder for a woman's affection, for a woman to take her clothes off, sex education in the classroom. There's this huge myth that people were just doing it, like, we might as well teach them because the children are just doing it. Actually, before they introduced sex education, the majority of high school graduates were graduating with their virginity intact, and then within 10 years of sex education, we saw a reversal. So I'm saying feminists...
Oh, so it was a trap. I never saw that class. What? That must have been before my time. I never saw that class. I heard the same thing happens with drugs. When it comes to the DARE program, I heard the DARE program was put in place to actually get children on drugs. That's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. But if it is true, shame on these people, man. They got to answer to the Most High. They have to.
Feminism actually seeded the problem, and now the problem is bad, and it's also bad for men. It's harmful for men to be constantly exposed to pornography and soft pornography, and I think it actually, in many ways, emasculates men.
Okay.
But I would say they are the main social benefactors of that culture because, well, first and foremost, as we're talking about women who have to kind of pick one or the other or try to manage both, and can we have it all? Like, no, you can't have it all. On a day where I really feel like I gave a little bit more to my career, I ache because I go, okay, but like now I feel like I didn't give the same amount to my children. And it's a constant push and pull, and it never feels enough. It really doesn't feel enough.
So to a degree, I think that feminism does benefit men. I think that it allows men to be more emotionally intelligent, allows them to understand.
Man, please. Look, it either creates more players, aka whoremongers, or it creates more simps, aka more guys like King Ahad. What's that dude's name? King Ahad, who was Queen Jezebel's husband, and she let him control every damn thing. Even let her talk him into taking out an old man because the old man didn't want to sell him or her or the both of them his vineyard. It's his vineyard. He can sell it to whoever he want to sell it to. But nah, Queen Jezebel is like, you the queen or you the king. What you doing? You need to take him out and take his vineyard. Now what happens? Most High punish both of them. Now they're most likely in hell today. Hey.
and what that looks like, and also be able to connect with other people, right? But at the same time, there's so much work that feminism has done for women that to say that it benefits men more, I don't think is an accurate statement. For example, Title IX has made it very possible for women to go to college 600% more so, right? And I think that that is a
600%. Damn. That's what? That's wealth transfer at its highest. Number one example.
huge
Oh.
benefit that we can credit to the feminist movement. Though I understand your point, though, of trying
I'm going to credit it to somebody else.
to say that like sex work is harmful for women and more beneficial for men because they're benefiting from it the most. But
Ain't nobody benefiting from this jump, man. More and more people on their way to the wide gate that leads to eternal damnation, man.
at the same time, if you think they're
That's
also
all.
suffering from it, does that not contradict your point?
They're going to hell,
So
man.
I disagree on the fact that, and we do agree that more women are going to college, more women than men are graduating with college degrees. And despite that, people are saying that we still live under a patriarchy. Women are free to start their own companies. Women are free to pay women whatever they want to pay.
Yeah.
Women could hire, and in some cases do hire all women. And so I don't really understand, which wasn't your argument to be fair, the idea that even with all of that freedom, women are still not able to achieve what men are able to achieve. I think college
Shoot, in Georgia, I heard they got a whole courthouse with nothing but female workers. I could be wrong, but look it up.
education actually has increased women's strength.
Wait, I'll
And
do
I'm
it.
talking about in terms of how expensive it is. And I know you're gonna then say, well, the solution to that is we have to then move the goalpost. And I'm guessing
Well,
here.
no,
You could-
I mean,
but like college
yeah.
should be free. Everything should be free. He thinks.
Well, I think
we just need more free stuff, and obviously nothing's free. We're just gonna tax us.
If I
until
could interject,
100%.
I just
Yeah,
want
you
to say
can.
I think the issue that we keep coming back to is that you believe that women would be happiest in the home where they don't have to work, and I think most people in general probably wouldn't want to work anyways. But I think the main issue that we keep avoiding is that this is not an issue created by feminism. This is an issue created by capitalism.
Yeah, so I've heard this argument that it's an issue created by capitalism.
But you don't agree. You think feminism is the greater issue than the
I
system
think that
needs
now
us
the
to spend more money
issues-
to live.
Well, we have to spend more money to live.
Right.
I think in large part because feminists got duped by the government. And I think
Okay.
we just keep further enslaving ourselves to the government. I'm not a person who believes in big government. And yet
Okay.
you find that feminists,
They play right into them dudes' hands. They don't pay attention to nothing. But it's like, hey, Genesis 3:16 said they got a strong desire to rule over man. And they don't care who they hurt so that they can gain that power. They don't care who they have to serve so they can gain that power. If that means they turn away from serving the Most High and serve the most evil, that's what they're going to do.
are constantly like, well, we can deal
That's
with the
what they're
college
gonna do.
issue. We just need more government. We can deal with the, needing to have more benefits. We just need more government. So it's like, okay, let's just tax every household 100%. And I'm trying to prevent that. And I'm saying that there was a time in America, and what's aspirational for me is I was, raised in part by my grandparents. They were very happy. They were just, I lived in that environment of what that looked like. And I think
Okay.
for many of people who didn't grow up there, feminism has taught us, and I say this as someone who had to take feminism 101 courses when I was in college, that it was like this nightmare, and people weren't happy, and people were suffering, and women were
People were suffering.
People, were being forced, and that there weren't actually these things that just marriages that worked, that the women actually weren't disempowered by being the CEOs of their household.
Well, allowing women to have more choice and freedom
right,
and
pause.
agency to leave.
Sorry, you've been voted out by
Damn, out of nowhere. I wanted to see what she was going to say. Damn, out of nowhere, man.
the majority.
I did enjoy this conversation. Very respectful.
Yeah, she was probably the most respectful one.
I was thinking,
Well, all of them stood up at the same time, then sat down.
that a lot of your claims are very. I was thinking that a lot of your claims are very contradictory.
Oh, here we
Saying that
go.
live in a matriarchy that men benefit from feminism more. I would like to understand why, again, you think that men benefit
Only players do. She need to be specific with that.
from feminism more.
basically, because men don't have to commit to women, men are still able to do what they're doing, and they are allowed to basically step away from all of the responsibilities of what it really meant to be a man and lead a household. And that's in large part, I think, due to the sexual revolution.
And that's all.
I mean, is it really bad that we don't have to give?
What's funny about it and sad about it is that Amber Rose helped lead that junk, right? She probably changed her mind by now about the whole thing. I would hope so, but I doubt it. But she helped lead that junk, and that same crap led to her ended up in divorce as well. Same crap that she was pushing.
Men, the chase, don't they have gratification from chasing us? Like, it's a hunter versus prey situation to me. So I feel like a lot of relationships, especially back then, were based on trying to get to home run, like, very fast. And now that we have the freedom to not commit and not tie ourselves to one man for the rest of our life, I just don't necessarily think that's bad. I just don't think the revolution has
Who she listen to? City Girls?
decreased the dumb for people
Who she listen to? Cardi B?
who value connection. And sex doesn't always have to have this deep meaning. It is just connection and intimacy between two people who trust each other. And why do we have to deny women that gratification? Like, men.
Oh, so she one of them gross ones. Oh, let's see what this is.
Wired to want that. Why not women?
She nasty.
Well, we again, I go back to just our basic biological differences. There was a really interesting book that was done by a biophysicist. He, I think, recently passed away, named Edward O. Wilson, where he just sort of breaks down the biological arguments. Basically, he looks in the wild to see the behavior of animals. His thesis is just that you basically can never beat your own biology. And then he kind of compares it to what we see here as just humans and our social interactions and things that have been abundantly clear when you look at every civilization over time, whether it's from, 400 BC to LA today. What are these habits that you can see that never go away? And people coming together and
let's be real, homeschooling is
Oh man, homeschooling is good, by the way.
families
these days
one of these things, because we are biologically wired to find a family, to settle down, and to have children. And I think when you have women that are going out and they're giving all of the goods up for free,
The goods.
the goods.
Yes.
The goods.
I'm not gonna say the goods
The
up for
goods?
free.
Yeah, that's what they're
Men
doing.
are
Women
not-
want the goods for free from men, and that we are very
you can
happy with
certainly
those
do that, and there's
connections. We're not sockeye salmon. We're not made to breed and have families and then die.
you're welcome to do that. I'm just saying
What
that
the heck? What
when
with
it
this
comes
girl?
time for you to find a partner, you may find yourself in a circumstance where men don't value you as high because
Pray for this girl. She messed up in the head.
men like you spoke to, men like to compete. They like to feel like they've won something.
I'd like to deprive men of that
hunting
because
works.
they don't need to have that. That's
Sure.
actually
But you did bring up
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hunting.
and that's what you say, that men are, essentially predatory, and we have the goods that we have to keep from them.
Oh, I didn't mean the goods in a bad way.
But
I didn't-
that's such an objectifying way. The goods, the grocery goods.
honestly, I think that
Like-
that's just kind of
She says objectifying. The way you're living is it? Fake it. Go
We
ahead.
don't have value. in that way.
colloquial
We have value in
songs
our
today.
soul.
I think
We
people,
have value
yeah.
apart from
Yeah.
how many people we sleep with, how many, you also devalue education for women. And I think that's very interesting because you're also a very educated woman.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of ways, this is just like an observation. You devalue yourself a lot.
I definitely do not feel like I'm devaluing myself.
Make him a sandwich.
Yeah.
Better than what you doing. Look what she said. Oh, having children shouldn't be linked to marriage. I mean, she didn't say it in those exact words, but that was she basically saying. So she okay with being a baby mama, like the other girl that came up earlier. Hey, that's her business though. Hey, like Candace said, hey, you can do that. You can do that.
Yeah,
That's on you.
Which is the title of my book.
Yes, feed your men and everything. Feed the
Yeah.
people that you love.
'Cause it
Because
brings you
family
joy.
isn't defined just by your partner or your kids. Family is community, and you should care about your community. And understanding that
What? It depends on what she mean by that.
I just don't think you really care about the community that much when you're pushing this rhetoric of devaluing women so much to
What community?
stay in the kitchen, stay within the homes, and also saying that they're wasting money on college when education is very important. There's a lot
Okay,
of female
pause.
scientists.
Pause.
Yeah, get out of here.
You've been
so much
voted
to
out.
say.
Sorry. You've been voted